You only got one shot. Yes. Ooh, yes. All right, we're vlogging on the X-H2S. I found myself gravitating towards this camera over the X-H2. So video on the X-H2S and photos on the X-H2. This is my first day out in New York without the Fujifilm crew today, and I'm going to meet brunch with my friend Yuka. So heading down to Brooklyn. I'm just going to take you along for the day today because we are going to be getting some images, and of course I'm going to be testing this X-H2 and X-H2S and get some thoughts along the way. So just been kind of New York, man. Kind of in Williamsburg area at the moment. Just stopped off at a sort of like a viewpoint. Midday means the light was incredibly harsh and hazy, so I may save that on my map for like a sunset view. It looked pretty great. It's comically warm today. Like, I did not expect this type of heat. It was really foggy this morning, and so I was wearing trousers and boots, and man, I misjudged it just like I do at home every single day. So I think what my plan is now, I'm gonna head down towards the Manhattan Bridge, and I'm hoping that by the time I get there, because I'm sort of gonna take my time walking a little bit, it's about 45 minutes to an hour of just like, you know, moseying around. By the time I get there, the sun should be a little bit softer, and I'm hoping that I can get some nice downtown shots. I've only got 2 days here in New York, and I'm keen to try and get an image that I could print. I want to try and add one to my current collection of vantage views. So I'm looking for big vantage views of this signature skyline that is New York. We'll see if we can make it. So if I don't get this image, I don't know when I'm next going to be in New York. It could be a long time. And so, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Yuka, Yuka.
Let's go.
Alright, so I'm going to be making my way to Manhattan Bridge, and I'm looking for that viewpoint. As I'm walking around Brooklyn, I'm realizing this is the first time I've been in New York where there's been leaves on the trees. I've always come in winter and like late autumn, and it's really nice. It's nice seeing a bit of color, and of course Brooklyn itself is super colorful. Loads of street art and everything around. Speaking of color, I'm going to be editing my photos with my Urban Stone Volume 2 collection. I don't think I've actually mentioned it on the channel yet. I've mentioned it elsewhere, but that came out over the summer. So yeah, for stone-based destinations, those are my Lightroom presets, also available for Capture One. And they got like a nice subtlety to them, but with a good level of detail. I am definitely getting my steps in today. I took a subway like half the journey, and then I thought I'd walk. Yeah, it's really good light now. It was so hot earlier. I'm near to Dumbo, by the way. I'm headed towards the Brooklyn Bridge and Manhattan Bridge, and I'm looking for a shot of the Brooklyn Bridge with downtown Manhattan skyline. So I'm going to go and work the scene. We're going to see what we can find. So far, we've got a bit of the World Trade Center and Brooklyn Bridge visible. I have shot around this area before, so I've already got some images that I'm pretty happy with. I'm not looking for new Dumbo shots. I want downtown shots. And I think from the bridge might be a good one. Oh man, we got some scaffolding. Which I've already got this image. Hey man. Can I ask you about your camera?
Yes, what do you want to know?
It's very cool. What year is it from?
This is 1940, press camera.
Okay.
4x5, speed graphic.
Nice. And everything working, I imagine?
9 days a week.
And how about the flash? How often?
One shot only.
One shot. And how often do you buy in bulk? Or?
Well, I got 20,000 right now.
At home? How'd you get so many?
I bought it.
But, well, they just still make them?
No, they're not making no more.
Oh, wow.
For 50 years they haven't been making those. But there's about 1 million around the country.
Yeah, it's just very cool, man. Yeah, just caught my eye. Shininess. Can I film this? This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, what was your name?
Louis Mendes.
Louis? Mm-hmm. Nice, thank you. And how long have you been doing this?
Since 1959.
Oh, wow. And this would have been 19 years old at the point.
It would have been.
Yeah.
Exactly. I use it every day. Right there.
How do you want me?
Just like that. 1,
Sure.
3, and 3. Done.
I heard the buzz.
Wax bulb. Very hot and very bright.
Yeah.
Take a minute and you'll be in it. You moving to New York?
No, I'm not.
Why not?
Because I'm moving to...
Not in New York.
You know, you're the only person who's taken my picture this trip, so I appreciate it.
20 years, the picture gonna be a classic.
Amazing. Thank you
Don't
very
lose
much.
it. Don't let your girlfriend see it. She'll steal it from you.
You only got one shot.
And then I put another one in. Ready for the next customer.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, my man.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Have a good trip.
That guy said he'd been working there 9 days a week for about 70 years or so. Said he was 82. It's amazing. What a dude. I need to try and get up there somehow. That'll become an Instagram spot one day. Probably next week. Yeah, no shit. Yeah, I'm up on Manhattan Bridge now. It is one of my favorite bridges. It's one of the noisiest. My Apple Watch has been triggering for noise every 30 seconds or so because I've set it for I think anything above 75 decibels it will alert me because I'm like super sensitive to noise, and it's peaking at 95 decibels along and under this bridge. Might put my AirPods in. The view isn't quite doing it for me. I think it's a mix of a couple of things. Compositionally, I'm not 100% sure. It's a good like vantage point, but everything just kind of blends together. And I think that is because of the second point, which is the lighting. I'm maybe a little bit too early for sunset. As we can see, it's still pretty high in the sky, but also as it dips, it's going to be backlit, which can look nice. I've got some images of the backlit skyline before, but unfortunately that means that the Brooklyn Bridge isn't going to be lit up. I thought it would have had a little bit more separation and difference, but it's not quite got it. This may be a better sunrise view as it is down below on Dumbo. I haven't got time for that. I do really appreciate whoever's done this, photographers around the world. Thank you. So now I'm in a dilemma. Do I wait for the sun to dip? And that is possibly going to be about an hour and a half or so at this spot. Or do I scrap it and find a different view? given that I've only got a limited time left in New York. I might have to scrap it. It's interesting with the light as well. Everything's kind of looking really blue out towards there, and so I've sort of struggled with it a little bit. For video I have to set a fixed white balance of 6,500 Kelvin, and I'll do the same for the photos as well. Obviously I've got a bit more flexibility shooting raw. I can edit those in Lightroom, but for video, unfortunately you don't have that flexibility. I've decided to abandon that view, and maybe we'll get it another day, but I'm gonna head into Manhattan now. I'm actually meeting a friend for dinner in Harlem. Going a little bit later, so still got some time. I think I'm gonna head towards like Greenwich Village, and yeah, have a little look around there, because that's a pretty cool area. Yes, love that. Great calligraphy. Very good.
Took my shit out my bag, bro. It took my shit.
So I've come down to Greenwich Village, and I'm going to walk back towards my hotel, change of clothes, because I am a sweaty, smelly mess right now. I am the personification of New York. But I'm not going to explore too much around this area, because I think I'm going to do that tomorrow. Likewise, with going to one of my other areas that I was thinking of for a viewpoint, which is a place that I went to last time I was in New York, and yeah, you'll have to check the next video for that. But anyway, I've switched over for photography now. I've got the X-H2 out, and I've put the 56mm 1.2. This is the new lens, and yeah, I'm building up some thoughts on it. I'm enjoying it so far. It's slower than I'd like. So even though it's a brand new lens, the focusing feels slower, which is a bit weird. But the quality and the depth of field, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So anyway, I'm going to be heading up towards Midtown now, and I'll get some images along the way. But yeah, you'll need to check that next video if I can get my vantage viewpoint. I don't think we got it today. It's just the way it goes. I've also got some thoughts on how it's been switching between photo and video on the X-H2S all day. This is the first time I've actually made a full vlog on Fuji and taken photos with it. And one of the biggest gripes I've always had has been how I switch between photo and video. And you know what? This has done really well. So I've got some thoughts coming on that. So stick around to the end. I'll share some updates to my thoughts. This is like an ongoing reviewing process, I guess. Okay, 2 minutes with this lens, and I love it. It's so good. It feels great in the hand, and the quality is amazing. And if you set your focus to zone tracking, it actually performs pretty fast. So maybe I was wrong about the slow focus earlier. It keeps up really well. But the pictures, oh my god, they are brilliant. I am definitely going to be rinsing this tomorrow. I do have the 33 1.4, which I've still not properly used yet. But you know what? 56 1.2 just feels nicer in the hand. So although today I haven't been able to get an image that I can add to my print collection, I did want to talk about the prints. And you're watching this now, but I can almost guarantee you I am back in London. So all print orders will continue. Ellie and myself are fulfilling them when we're in London. Of course, Ellie's not here during this trip, so orders that have come in, she's got them prepped, and then I'll be signing them when I return. But anyway, by the time you're watching this, I'll be back in London, and the store is open until the end of September. So you've only got a few days left to get an image in the opening print store collection. And thank you to everyone who has bought one so far. I'm really enjoying seeing where they're going, because it is a truly global audience all over. Within the first few orders, there were prints going to everywhere. So that was a great way to test the shipping and processing. And yeah, so far it's working out smooth. There have also been a number of people who've said they're really keen to support the channel, but unfortunately can't get a print right now. Maybe it's because they don't have the space for the print, maybe it's a financial commitment right now, or maybe it's just the wrong image. They could be waiting for the next drop, which I'm not sure when the print store will reopen, but for whatever reason, unable to support, and they would like to. So to help this, and as you know, I've been running this channel for about 8 years now, putting out free videos, and I want to have a way, and I've been thinking about this a lot. So I'm finally launching a Patreon. It's going to be a soft launch to start with, so make sure you check the link, and there'll be updated perks and everything happening there. So if you're unaware of what Patreon is, it's a way that you can support via a subscription for as long or as little as you like. It's just a way to help support creators and the work that I'm doing. Hopefully this is entertaining, inspiring for you, but of course it costs me a lot of money. It's a massive investment, and unfortunately doing these types of vlogs is not good business sense a lot of the time. The types of videos that do make, you know, good money are gear related videos and other things, but in terms of making art and more connective work, so between you and me, it doesn't generate as much. So if you enjoy watching this, there are some various perks available. You will of course get some things back, so in terms of either just supporting the channel and investing into future videos, in particular Japan coming up. We're heading back to Japan. I can confirm it right now. I can confirm it right now. Siren alert. We are heading back to Japan end of October. It's going to be amazing. I'm so excited for that. And through support on this, that is going to facilitate making some great videos. And yeah, so go and check out the link. As I said, this is just a soft launch at the moment, and we'll be updating things and just kind of tailoring it to how you feel best to support the work that you're watching. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I want to continue. I'd hate to have to stop, and I've got to be honest, it's come close to that the last 2 years. It really genuinely has. And that's not to guilt anyone into subscribing, only do it if you can, but just to give you the picture of it, that is the reality of it. So anyway, I'm going to go change, and then we're going to head up Harlem.
Chicken, side side. Mac, side side. Short rib, side side.
Side to side.
Side to side. Back and forth.
I can pull that up. They're still going. Oh, what's a girl's best friend? Pulling out. Winner.
Good dinners, good drinks, good fun. Honestly, one of the best things about this YouTube channel is just meeting people whilst traveling, and then meeting up, catching up, and just, yeah, sharing stories. I love that about travel. Anyway, today I've been vlogging entirely on the X-H2S, and I have to say, I think I love this camera. Switching between photo and video, finally, has been a breeze. This is the type of thing that I've been waiting for a long time. And I will of course be reviewing this footage back to see how the focus was, how other things were, because sometimes how it feels on the day versus how it performs when you actually watch it, it's not quite the same thing. One of the things that I wanted to address is obviously the big talking point with the X-H2 and the X-H2S is the lack of dials at the top. So there's no longer an ISO dial as it was in the X-H1, and we just have a PASM dial, so a program, aperture, shutter, and manual mode. And that kind of riles a lot of people. I must admit, it's taken a little bit of a learning curve for me, but we're 4 days into it, and I'm perfectly fine with it. You have no less than 7 custom modes, and so I've just set C1, C2, and C3 to be video modes. I've got my A-roll, my B-roll, and my slow-mo, and then I have C4 for photography, if you get that, and C5 for another format of photography, just a different Fuji recipe. You can let your settings auto-update, and therefore, if you make any changes, it's going to remember it on the C custom mode. So although you lose the custom grid of modes, I think it was 7 previously on the software format, you now have it 7 on a dial. I'd like to see both. You now have C dial on the top which controls everything, and that's literally every setting that is on the camera, whereas previously I think the custom dials were a little bit more about the imaging style and imaging quality, so more like a recipe. I'd maybe like a mode that changes from that, but otherwise 7 custom modes. As someone who's using this as a true hybrid camera, I think it's fine. And likewise, if you don't like the PASM, this is probably not the camera for you. There's the XT series, there's the X Pro series. Those will of course be updated in due time. This just fits a different audience. And between switching photo and video on Fujifilm, one of the biggest frustrations I've always had is, quite honestly, the dials got in the way. You see, between video and photo, you need different settings. You need different shutter speeds, you need different apertures potentially. Maybe you're using a filter for video, and those dials, when they're fixed, they're frustrating, because video you need a slower shutter speed, and for photos you want probably as fast a shutter speed as you need, and so they contradict each other. And so if you want a hybrid camera, the X-H is, H probably stands for hybrid. I don't know for sure, but it probably does. Anyway, I'm going to be making some more videos about this camera whilst I'm here in New York. Got one more day here. Again, by the time you're watching this, I'm gone from here. If you want to see if I got that vantage view, then check out this video. That'll be the next one following on from this one. So, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video super soon. See you later. Bye bye.